Welcome to AARP Illinois' virtual event. It's so wonderful to have you with us. AARP is on a mission to connect with individuals across various communities, especially those aged 50 and above. We're here to listen, understand, and address the unique needs of you and your community as we age. Our goal is to enrich your experience by expanding our local activities, providing opportunities for you to discover and engage with all that life has to offer right here in your own community and virtually. As we journey through today's event, we invite you to consider joining our dedicated team of AARP volunteers. It's a chance to make a meaningful impact and help us better serve those 50 plus across the nation. Connect with us and be a part of this vibrant movement toward positive change. Welcome. And let's make this event both fun and transformative.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to AARP Illinois' presentation of this special presentation partnership with the Cook County Assessor's Office for folks who are looking to learn about ways to lower your property tax bill. We will be joined shortly by Hector and others from the Assessor's Office to learn about those processes. Just want to welcome you. My name is Adam Ballard. I'm an Associate State Director here at AARP Illinois, and our property tax work is part of our work to address the pocketbook needs, right, of everyday older adults 50 plus across the Chicago region. You can learn more about some of those efforts at aarp.org/livable, where our Livable Communities work is located. Livable Communities focuses on more than just property tax and pocketbook issues. It talks about how we can build the kind of neighborhoods we want to live in with housing and transportation that works for everybody, and communities that are walkable and livable and safe for everyone. So again, aarp.org/livable is a place you can go to learn more about AARP's broader work in this area after our presentation. But thank you for joining us, and I'll go ahead and turn it over to Hector for now. Thank you very much, Hector.
No, thank you guys so much for having me. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Hector Dominguez. I'm here on behalf of the Cook County Assessor's Office. We have a kind of a full agenda going forward today, so I just want to jump right into it. We are going to have a special guest chime in a little bit later, but until then, you're just stuck with me. Couple house rules or just things to be aware of. If you are like me and your brain just goes all over the place, and you have a question that you want to ask, but you are afraid that if you don't ask it now, you might forget, it's okay. I'm the exact same way. So go ahead and write them in the comment section. And then when we get to the Q&A portion of the event, I promise we're going to answer every single question that we receive to the best of our ability. The second thing I would like for you all to do is share this presentation. I'm not quite sure where you're watching it at. You could be watching it on Facebook. You could be watching it on YouTube. You could be watching it somewhere else. Wherever you are watching it at, just share it. It's super important information, vital information, and we just got to be great neighbors, right? So let's jump right on in. If you're here today with me, thank you so much. It is lunchtime, so you could be anywhere else doing literally anything else, but you chose to spend your time with me, so I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. What we're going to be talking about today is property tax assistance certificate of heir. So what does that mean? We're going to get into it, but before we do, allow me to introduce to you Cook County Assessor Fritz Kagi. This is the assessor of the entire county. Cook County is the second largest residential, I was gonna say universal, second largest residential county in the United States of America. And he has the privilege of overseeing all of that. What does that actually mean though, right? I know that sometimes we see people who are in authority or people who are in office, and we're not really sure what those offices do. So allow me to kind of unpack that for you for a little bit. So our office does lots of different things, but here are some of the most important things that we do, or more important things that we do. So first, we are the office or the agency responsible for setting a fair and accurate value to your home. Now, not only your home, but 1.9 million different other properties. So almost 2 million different properties, right? And how do we do this? Do we just make it up? Do we just pull numbers out of a hat? No. These properties are based on what's called a mass appraisal system. So it's not individually done. It's not individually calculated. So our office is responsible for the values on your home. We are also responsible for the discounts that you receive on your property tax bill. Kind of what we're going to be talking about later on today, but kind of like the homeowner exemption, the senior citizen exemption, the senior freeze exemption, all of those things. And then what we are not responsible for are the tax levies in your area, the taxing districts in your area, the property tax bill, mailing out the tax bill, receiving your tax bill payments, right? That has nothing to do with our office. Going forward, we're going to be talking about these exemptions today, and we're going to jump right in. So the first one I want to go over is kind of the one almost everybody knows. It's the homeowner exemption. In order to qualify for the homeowner exemption, you must have owned and occupied that property as of January 1 of 2023. If the property was owner occupied January 1 of 2023, then this property is eligible for the homeowner exemption. And the cool thing about the homeowner exemption is that if you received it last year, it automatically renews going forward for you. That means you don't have to apply again. You don't have to redo any paperwork again. Once your property is receiving this exemption, our office understands and auto renews it for you going forward. So that's really cool. The next exemption we're going to talk about is the senior citizen exemption. Now, this one's a little bit different. This one, you must have been born in 1958 or before, and you must have owned and occupied that property anytime within 2023. So that means January 1, 2023, all the way to December 31st, 2023. Any time in there that this property was owner occupied by someone who was born in 1958 or before, this property qualifies for the discount. And similar to the homeowner exemption, the senior citizen exemption is auto renewed going forward as well, because you're not going to get any younger. Am I right? So I think that's kind of cool. Now, let's jump right into one of my favorite exemptions, the low income senior citizen assessment freeze, also known as the senior freeze exemption. Now, this one's a little bit different. Has a couple little caveats, right? So the first requirement is that you must have been born, or the taxpayer must have been born in 1958 or before. Super simple, just like the senior citizen. Here's where things get a little bit different. There is an income cap for the senior freeze. You cannot make more than $65,000 as a total household income gross. That's total household income. I'm going to repeat that one more time. Total household income, because we're going to get questions that say, well, what about my significant other? What about this? What about that? Total household income. And what we're going to do very quickly is we have like a special guest. I wish we had like some type of intro music or something like da-na-na, da-na-na. And we're going to introduce right now the assessor of Cook County. First, Katie has sharing his time with us. So I'm going to stop my camera and go ahead, boss. You take it over.
Well, Hector, thank you. And everyone, I wanted to thank you for joining us on this day. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for your time. We know you can be many places on a beautiful summer day, albeit a hot one out there. So I hope you're staying safe. I know Hector's already gone through some of the key exemptions for our seniors, the senior homeowners and the senior freeze. And I know we got probably a couple to go, right, Hector? Okay, cool. But first of all, I just wanted to say hi. Hector is one of the many hardworking people at our office who works with seniors, making sure that everyone gets the exemptions and benefits that they deserve. Many people, when they think about our office, all they think about is assessments, which is one of our important jobs, which is estimating the value of properties throughout the county to make sure that everyone's treated fairly, that properties like yours are assessed in the same way for everyone as they are for everyone else, and making sure that no one is getting special benefits or being unduly biased against. So that's our most important job. But the other key part of our job is making sure that everyone gets the exemptions that they deserve. A lot of people think because I'm the assessor, I like property taxes. Couldn't be further from the truth. It's a pretty regressive tax that our seniors know best, that it's a property tax that doesn't pay attention to whether you're earning an income or not, whether you're on a fixed income or not. whether you're retired or not. It's just there. And the good thing about exemptions is that they add a measure of progressivity into a basically regressive kind of taxation system. But we want to make it work as best it can, and getting you your exemptions is the best way that we can do it. And exemptions are really great savings that in many cases you qualify for regardless of your income. That includes a homeowner's exemption, senior homestead exemption. The senior freeze is means tested. It's actually the most valuable exemption that you can get, pretty much. So that's why we're doing an event like this. I'm really proud that, it used to be seniors had to apply every year to get their seniors exemption, to basically recertify every year that they're still over 65, which was ridiculous. We're really proud that the law that led to automatic renewal that we got passed in 2019, it was passed on a trial basis. Well, this year it was made permanent because 20% more seniors are getting their senior exemption this year than they were before that law was passed. So we showed that it's really working, that our seniors are getting those exemptions they deserve. But Hector, you want me to hand it off to you here, and you can knock off some of the specifics here for our viewers, and then we can get to question and discussion.
Absolutely. I can take over for the rest of the exemption portion and the certificate of error portion.
Great.
And then when we get to Q&A, chime right back in.
Okay, terrific, Hector.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. So we were on the senior freeze, ladies and gentlemen. So very quickly, you must have been born in 1958 or before. Your total household income cannot be greater than $65,000 as a total household income. And here's the important part. You must have owned and occupied the property for 2 consecutive January 1s. So that's January 1, 2022 and January 1, 2023. This exemption is not auto-renewed because it's based on your income. So unfortunately, you do have to apply for this annually. Also, man, I wish I had sound effects, but kind of like a new policy update for the senior freeze is that if you are part of the Aid to the Aged, Blind, and Disabled program, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, which is known as SNAP, the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, which is LIHEAP, the Benefit Access Program, or the Senior Citizen Real Estate Tax Deferral Program, and you qualify for those, you don't necessarily have to give us your income for the senior freeze, because if you qualify for these programs, you also qualify for the senior freeze. So what we would do on the application, I will show you that in a couple slides, you would just mark off which of these you qualified for and then submit a copy of that application or confirmation to our office as well. Persons with disability exemption. This is for anyone who has a disability or became disabled in 2023. You must have owned and occupied that property as of January 1, 2023, and responsible for the taxes. Because the uniqueness of this exemption, this is also automatically renewed going forward as well. So far, we have the homeowner exemption, the senior citizen exemption, and the disabled persons exemptions. All 3 of those are auto-renewed going forward, assuming you received them the first time. Veterans with disability exemption. This is my favorite exemption. A little bit higher than senior freeze for me. This one is cool because I have family members who are veterans. I have friends who are veterans. I know veterans that made it home. I know veterans who did not make it home. So this is very important to me. So I would love to talk about it with you all. Very quickly, to qualify for the Veterans with Disability exemption, you must be a resident of Cook, Illinois, but we're talking about Cook County here. And you must have been a member of the United States Armed Forces on active duty, a member of the National Guard, the Reserves, and you must have been honorably discharged. You have to have a service-connected disability rating of 30% or greater. And there are different tiers within that, kind of in those percentages, right? Also, this is kind of different, but you can qualify for the exemption as long as you owned and occupied the property anytime in 2023. However, to receive the best portion of that exemption, your property should have been owned January 1st of 2023. So what does that mean? That means if you owned it February 1st, your exemption will be prorated. March 1st, prorated. April 1st, prorated, right? So if you were there January 1st, you get the most of that benefits of that exemption. So what does that mean? So 30 to 49%, you receive X removed off of your tax bill. 50 to 69%, you receive X removed off of your tax bill. And if it's 70 to 100%, you don't pay property taxes at all, as long as your home is not worth more than $100,000. So to keep it simple, if you're 70% or greater, you don't pay property taxes at all, as long as your home is not worth more than that. And to receive the full benefit, you must have owned and occupied that property January 1 of the taxable year. This exemption has a caveat as well, because though it is not automatically renewed, it can be automatically renewed depending on the reason why or how things are written for the veteran, right? So what does that mean? That means at the very bottom where it says, if you are totally and permanently disabled, then that means going forward, you will no longer have to file for this exemption. But if your eligibility letter does not state this portion or have this language in it, then you do have to apply again. I hope that makes sense. We also want to highlight, not a policy change, but kind of highlight something that was already there. For folks who, let's just say you own a 3-unit building, and I own a 3-unit building, and I live in unit 1, and I'm renting unit 2 and 3. The exemption only applies to my units, not the other units. We want to make that clear. Very simple. Returning veterans exemption. This is for anyone who's returning from active duty. You must have been in the U.S. Armed Forces, the National Guard, or the Reserves, returning from active duty with armed conflict with the United States of America, and you must have only occupied that property January 1st of 2023. And this exemption is kind of cool because it's kind of like a 2-year exemption. It's for the year you return and for 1 year later. So it's kind of like a 2-for-1. Makes it unique. The long-time exemption, this is for anyone who has owned and occupied the property for 10 consecutive years. That means January 1, 2013, all the way through January 1, 2023. Your household income cannot be greater than $100,000. And here's the part that everyone seems to miss. Your equalized assessed value must have increased significantly depending on where in the county you live. So what the heck does that mean? That means if your assessed value multiplied by the state equalizer, which I'm going to show you that math in a couple slides, it continues to increase significantly over those years, you will receive this application in the mail to submit on your behalf. Sadly, only about 2% of the county actually qualifies for this exemption. So if you did in fact qualify, you would have received an application from our office already. Now, I would love to sit up here and say, hey, we're never wrong. We are always right. We're 1,000, but that's not true. So if you believe we made a mistake, I'm going to show you at the end how to contact us directly so that we can kind of figure this out with you. And the last exemption I'm going to talk about, is the home improvement exemption. This is for anyone who is, pulling permits, trying to improve their property, and it covers you for up to $75,000. So what does that mean? That means if your home is worth $100,000 and you pull permits and add an addition, add a second floor, dorm, or something, right? You do something to the property, and it grows in value. Your permits are up to $75,000. Your home should be worth what? $175,000. But because you have the home improvement exemption, that extra $75,000 you just put on the home, you are not taxed on it for 4 years. That means you're still going to be assessed at $100,000, and then after your 4th year, you will see the increase. But what happens if you make $76,000 worth of improvements? Well, you are responsible for anything greater than $75,000. This exemption is unique because it's the only one you don't have to apply for. Once you pull your permits, those permits get sent to your township or your municipality or wherever you live at, and then they are then sent to our downtown location. And then from the downtown location, they go ahead and process this exemption for you. So it's kind of cool. It is only eligible, or the properties that are eligible for this exemption are only homes, residential properties, so class 2s. So I want to make sure everyone knows that. How do you know where your exemptions are listed on your tax bill? Well, you get 2 tax bills a year. You get a blue one when it's cold outside, and you get a yellow one when it's warmer outside. The blue one that you receive when it's cold outside does not have any discounts on it. It never will. It never has. It's never going to happen. The yellow bill, the one that comes out when it's warmer outside, which the Treasury is scheduled to put out very soon. And I believe that if you go on the cookcountytreasury.com, you can kind of see your bill already. There is where you'll see all your discounts. Now, if you're looking at a tax bill, bottom left-hand corner where it says tax calculator, that is where your discounts are. You'll see them listed: homeowner, senior freeze, disabled person, disabled vet. All of them will be listed right there. The only one that's not listed there is the long time exemption. You'll see that one listed under the segment that says, or under like the location that says important messages. So just want to make that distinction. You'll see all of your exemptions under tax calculator except for the long time exemption. Now, we do have a couple questions, and I do want to address some of those very quickly. So we have something that's called a certificate of error. A certificate of error is something that a taxpayer like myself can go ahead and apply for because for whatever reason, I forgot to file for my homeowner exemption, or I filed it and our office messed up. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. We can go back as of this moment, as of right now, as of July 25th, 1:21 p.m. We can go back all the way to 2018. So you can get refunds for 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, and 22. Now, a couple things. 19 through 22, you can still apply online on our website and do them digitally, right? If you're trying to file for your certificate of error for 2018, please note that the application will soon be removed from online. It might already be removed. I'm not really sure. I haven't checked yet, but it's going to be removed soon. So if this is you and you go to apply for your 2018 certificate of error and you cannot file online, download the application and you can mail it in. But this brings up another question. What about folks who forgot to file for 2023? Is there a certificate of error for 2023? Absolutely there is, except that process is a little bit different. So you have to wait until you receive your second installment tax bill. Then once certificate of errors for 2023 become open, which is very soon, then you can apply for those. How do you apply? Very simple. You can go to cookcountyassessor.com, click on the word exemption, scroll down a little bit, find certificate of error, and apply online. We can do everything digitally, and we're going to go over that very quickly. All you have to do is go ahead and go to file online. You can log in. You can start your filing from here. You just fill out what you see. There are no trick questions here, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing here is going to finesse you. It's literally, what is your name? What is your address? What is your email address? What is your PIN number? What is your address? Who are you in relation to the property? Are you the taxpayer owner? Right? These are the kind of questions you're going to see here. You're going to have to just fill out all of these different fields. You'll see wherever there's a red star or check box, you have to complete that task. If you don't, the program won't let you continue applying. So you want to make sure you just do all of those. I'm kind of skimming through these because this is being recorded. I'm assuming it is going to be posted somewhere else, so you can just pause and freeze and look at this. But I do want to make time and save time for Q&A at the end. So I'm going to kind of go through these a little bit. But when you're applying, we just need your name, your phone number, your address, your birthday, your marital status, just kind of yes or no, very simple questions. Sorry. And then we need to know the years you are applying for. So here you would check. You're only doing one application for multiple years. So here you would check 2019, 2020, 21, 22. If 2018 is still available, you can do 2018 as well. And as you're checking these off, you're just going to get yes or no questions, kind of fill in the blank questions, where you just go ahead and you do those things. You let us know who you are, if you have multiple PIN numbers. And the cool thing about our program is at the bottom, you'll see here, it'll tell you what you need to submit on behalf of yourself to complete the application. It'll say we need a updated photo ID. It'll say we need this, we need that, we need whatever you want to submit. But here it's very clear what you need in order to file these exemptions. And then you just continue to fill out the document. Go ahead and let us know who you are. Give us your phone number and your email address. Now, once you get here, and and you click on submit filing, what's going to happen is you're going to get a confirmation number. I'm sorry, you're going to get a filing ID number. I apologize. With that filing ID number, that's how you're going to kind of keep track of your application. So when you contact our office, since we can't go in by name, everything's done anonymously, you just give us your filing ID number. We go ahead and look that up on your behalf, and we let you know where your application is. But rest assured, because here's the process. Once you apply, it kind of takes 6 to 10 weeks for that processing time, and then the certificate of error gets refunded by the Cook County Treasurer's Office, kind of like 4 to 6 weeks afterwards. So I know it sounds long and unnecessary, but these are kind of the things that are set in place that make everyone happy, make sure things get done correctly and on time. If you want to go ahead and check your exemption history, your appeal history, your assessment history, or read about like different, properties in your neighborhood, you can go to cookcountyassessor.com to do that as well. If you want to connect with us directly, you can call us at 312-443-7550. You can connect with us on social media. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the best way to do this, because all you have to do is open up your camera app, hover over this QR code. It's not letting me. Well, you hover over the QR code, and what happens is you are brought to our Linktree account. From there, you can do everything we just talked about. But maybe you want to make an appointment or make an in-person appointment with one of our locations. You can do that at the downtown location, 118 North Clark, at the Markham Courthouse location, 16501 South Kedzie, at the Skokie Courthouse location, 5600 West Old Orchard Road, room 149, or my old stomping grounds, the Bridgeview Courthouse location, 10220 South 76th Avenue, room 205. That's through the metal detector, up the escalator, to the left, right next to the bathroom. So, to the left? Yeah, to the left, right next to the bathroom. So, what I want to do now is close out this presentation, and let's jump into some questions. Let's do that. Let's see what we got here. So, question from Facebook. How many years can you go back to apply for the senior tax exemption? So, like we were just talking about, as of this moment right now, June 25th, we can go back to 2018. So that's 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, and 22. But 2018 is going to be removed offline very, very soon. So if this is you, I would jump in and do that. Otherwise, you have to download the application, fill out the application, put it in the mail, pray, and hope it gets to the assessor's office in one piece, right? Let's see what else we have here. YouTube question worth 20 points. What is being done to ease the property tax burden on seniors? The senior exemption is, I think that's supposed to say diminishing compared to other states. The senior citizen exemption has actually been increasing for Cook County. I started in 2011, and it has gone up 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So I would say in almost 10 years, it's gone up 4 times. So I would just continue. I would just encourage you all to remember to apply for your exemption. If you qualify for the senior freeze, remember to apply for that as well, and continue to do that, because the trick about the senior, or not the trick, but the cool thing about the senior freeze is that the longer you are on it, the more beneficial it becomes. That means your first couple years, you'll see a discount. Man, the more you stay on it, the longer you're on it, the bigger that discount is, right? We have people that have been on the freeze since 2000 and 2001, 2002, and their senior free savings is in the thousands of dollars. So kind of, I don't want to say trick, but kind of the thing you want to do is make sure you are just staying on top of your discounts, staying on top of your exemptions, and you'll be fine. Another YouTube question: with inflation always having an impact, why has the $65,000 total income not adjusted to this? So this has been increased as well. So the senior freeze income used to be $55,000, and then in like 2016, 2017, it was increased. But that's not something the assessor's office can do. Though that is kind of like your state legislators. So if you have that concern, that is who you want to let know. They are who vote on these things, right? State legislation. So we can voice our opinions, but we can't change anything. It's them who can change these things. So contact your house rep, your state rep, and that's how you want to start that. Another YouTube, let's go. Can you get a senior exemption and a person with disability exemption? Great question. I'm going to change it a little bit. Can you combine your exemptions? Absolutely. You can get up to 4, but you cannot combine the following. So you cannot get a senior freeze and a long time exemption, because essentially they do the same thing. and you cannot receive a disabled person and a disabled veteran at the same time, because essentially they do the same thing, but you can mix and match all the other ones. Another question. We got all these questions from YouTube. I love it. Who does one contact to be sure that they're getting all the exemptions to which they are entitled? So what you want to do is contact our office directly at 312-443-7550, or contact us on social media. So that's Instagram, that's Facebook, that's Twitter, that's YouTube, that's LinkedIn. Excuse me. Go ahead and do those things, and we can help you out ASAP. Very simple. No tricks, no red tape, none of that nonsense. Next YouTube question. Does household income include Social Security and pension? Your household income is your total household income. So when you file for your taxes, you are filling out paperwork and you are arriving at a number that is your total household income. That is what we are talking about. And in the event that you are randomly audited, which does happen, your paperwork and your application have to match. So Social Security, yes. Pension, yes. They have to match. I'm loving these YouTube questions. If I didn't do my senior freeze in 2023 yet, is it possible to do it now and obtain a corrected bill? Great question. No. So you cannot file for a 2023 certificate of error right now at this moment. I don't know if this is being watched later or not. So June 25th, no, you cannot. But what you can do, as soon as your tax bill is released, so as soon as the treasurer's office mails them out, you can file for what's called an adjusted bill. And that is essentially a certificate of error, but instead of receiving a refund, you get an adjusted bill. So you can definitely do that. Another question, how applicable is the information that you are covering to those of us who do not live in Cook County? I have no idea, because I don't know how these other counties work. I do know for the persons with for the veteran with disabilities exemption, that's a state thing. So that's the same everywhere. But as far as like your homeowner exemption, senior citizen exemption, senior freeze, you would have to contact your county assessor's office. Okay, and I think that is the end of our questions, but I would love to bring back the assessor just so that he can kind of close us out and people can see his face again.
Well, guys, Hector, great job, and everyone out there, great questions. We hope you found the video helpful today, and that you'll share it with others in your life, your neighbors, other seniors that you know, your friends, if you go to temple or church, other people in your community groups, because this information is important. We try to reach everyone that we can. You probably noticed all the different ways that Hector has described how we've tried to streamline things. If it seemed like there's a lot of information coming at you, we've actually try to reduce the barriers that used to be there. You know, the certificate of error forms, you used to have to fill out separate forms for each year for every different exemption, and now it's all streamlined on one form. For the senior homeowners exemption, you used to have to reapply every year. Now it automatically renews. In the senior freeze, there used to be more barriers to verifying your income.
Yep.
As Hector went through in that page, there are many different programs that you may have already applied for that have already demonstrated to our satisfaction your income. And if you qualify for those programs, you qualify for the senior freeze. And that's all about reducing barriers. We know we have we had so many good questions out there today. I bet we could get some really good feedback on other ways that we could be making the process easier for you. We'd love to hear from you. So Hector had that really helpful contact information on the last slide there. Please reach out to us. We want to hear from you. We want to make this process better and easier for you. You can go back and check the video, rewind, make sure we got everything. If there's anything else, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We really appreciate you, and we're glad you're here, and we want to serve you. This is the thing that we all love the most in our office, is serving others. And,
absolutely.
Want to be back, and look forward to seeing you again. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, Assessor. All right, AARP, do you guys want to jump on real quick so we can close together, or do you just want me to go ahead and close out? Actually, I would love for you all to jump back in just so we can close out together, because that's more fun.
Absolutely. Thanks again, Hector,
Absolutely.
for your excellent presentation and taking our questions. Thanks again to Assessor Kagi for joining us as well. And yeah, that closes out our presentation. I think we got to as many questions as we could, but if there are other questions that come in now as we're ending or after the program is ended, we'll do our best to share those with the assessor's office and get answers to you all. So Thank you again for joining us. And please, again, stay in touch with AARP Illinois for more presentations on this and other topics. Have a great day.
You guys have a great time. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. I tried to keep it short and concise for you all because I know it's lunchtime. So go ahead and eat something. Enjoy your food. Enjoy your time. Stay wise. Stay blessed. We love you guys. You guys have a great day.